So hello everyone, welcome back to Khan Cloud Academy, and this is Azure Virtual Networking Core, the networking part, right? So Azure Virtual Network provides the following key networking capabilities: isolation and segmentation, internet communications, communication between Azure resources, communicate with on-prem premises resources, route network traffic, filter network traffic, and connect virtual networks. So let's talk about what is the virtual network. So virtual network, as you can see here on the portal, this is the Azure portal which I created a free account, right? So this is what is all about, right? So now we will practice a little bit about what is a virtual account. So let's discuss about it. What is virtual account or how it's going to work on it? Okay. So Azure Virtual Network and virtual subnets enable Azure resources such as virtual machines, your web application, and your databases. So they can communicate with each other and user on the internet and with your own premises client computers. You or anyone who is the user can think of an Azure network as an extension of your on-premises network with resources that link other Azure resources. All right. So the point is, two major things over here. Azure Virtual Networks networking supports also both public and private endpoints to enable your communication between external or internal resources with other internal resources, right? So public endpoints have a public IP address and can be accessed from anywhere in the world. Private endpoints exist within a virtual network and have a private IP address from within the address space of that virtual network. So this is what we have to keep in your mind, right? And let me move to the next slide. So what is written here? Isolation and segmentation, your internet communication. So we discuss about these two topics, right? So presentation are communication tools that can be used as a demonstration, your lectures, speeches, reports, and more. So this is what is all about. So I'm just giving this presentation, okay? Well, this is a kind of quote I just mentioned here, right? So part of isolation and segmentation, right? So Azure Virtual Networks allows you to create multiple isolated virtual network. When you set up a virtual network, you define a private IP address space by using either public or private IP ranges. So you'd have to give the address ranges. The IP range only exists within the virtual network and is not internet routable, right? You can divide that IP address space into subnets and allocate part of the defined address space to each named subnet. Same way, you can use the name resolution services that build into Azure. You also can configure the virtual network to use either or an internal or an external DNS server, right? So internet communication, right? Internet communication. So basically, virtual network can connect not only in VMs but other resources, but other Azure resources, such as the your application service environment for Power Apps, your Azure Kubernetes services and Azure container services, your Azure virtual machine scale set as well, right? So service endpoints can connect to other Azure resources types such as Azure SQL databases and storage accounts. This approach enables you to link multiple Azure resources to virtual network to improve security and provide optimal routing between the resources, right? So communicate with the on-premises resources, what it means. So there are two, three things, right? So Azure Virtual Network enables you to link resources together in your on-premises environment and within your Azure subscription. In effect, you can create a network that spans both your local and cloud environment. So there are three mechanisms for, in Azure which need to be achieved this connectivity, right? So first is point to site. Remember this: point to site virtual private network connection or from a computer outside your organization back into your corporate network. Same way, your client computer initiate an encryption using VPN connection to connect to the Azure virtual network. right? Someone point to side means someone sitting outside. And side to side virtual private network link you an on premises VPN device or gateway to the Azure VPN gateway in a virtual network. The device in Azure can appear as a being on the local network. The connection is encrypted and works over the internet. So Azure ExpressRoute provides a dedicated private connectivity to Azure that does not travel over the internet. So ExpressRoute is basically very important things for whenever you are connecting your large scale of data center kind of things with your Azure cloud. So Express Route is a useful for environment where you need greater bandwidth and even higher level of security. So that's where you have to use Azure Express Route, right? So next is route network traffic. So route network traffic, right? Uh, so route traffic what? Azure routes traffic between this is by default basically between subnet or an any connected virtual network on premises network and the internet. So even we can control routing and override those settings as follows, right? So routing table allows you to define rules about how traffic should be directed. You can create custom route tables that control how packets are routed between subnets. So a border gateway protocol BGP works with Azure VPN gateway, Azure route servers, or Azure Express Route to propagate on-premises BGP routes to Azure virtual network, right? So next is the filter network traffic. So filter network traffic basically, if I talk about, so Azure virtual network enables you to filter traffic between subnets by using the network security groups are Azure resources that can contains multiple inbound and outbound security rules, right? So you can define your own security rules on the particular subnet level as well, right? You can define these rules, and even you can why we define these traffic rules, to allow or block the traffic based on factors such as sources and destination IP addresses. So you know what is the source and what is the destination IP addresses, ports, and what protocol it's going to use, right? Network virtual appliances are specialized VMs that can be compared to a hardened network appliance. And network virtual appliance carries out a particular network function such as running a firewall or performing wide area network WAN optimization. So this is what is all about connect virtual network. So connect and virtual network, if I talk about um virtual network, is you can link virtual network together by using virtual network peering. So peering allows two virtual network to connect directly to each other. Network traffic between peered network is private and travel on the Microsoft backbone network. So it's never entering the public internet. Peering enables resources in each virtual network to communicate with each other. These virtual network can be in separate regions. So remember this point. It's not in the same region, okay? So that is which allows you to create a global interconnected network through the Azure. So and Azure is the backbone side, okay? So user-defined route with the short form it is called UDR, which is allows you to control the routing tables between subnets within a virtual network or between virtual networks. This allows for greater control over the network traffic flow, right? Now we have to talk about Azure uh, private network. So before it, we can also provide or try some what I say we can try some giving the access on the Azure portal. So some resources you can provide some network access and try it. Okay. So I'm not going to do this practice. Okay, maybe because we are in coming videos, we will show you how to access your web server kind of things. So try this, anything which via the IP addresses or giving the any network security rules. So define the network security rules. Okay. So NSG basically it's called run the how you run the NSG using your CLI or something like that, right? Okay. So NSG rules like I have not created any resources, so this is the application basically I'm talking about. How you create a network security group. So you have to choose the resource group. So I'm searching this one, Azure Learning one. Name, NSG Learn one. Yes to yes, that is fine. This is very simple. Okay, any rule you want to create, you just create by giving the bunch of the names. That's it. And create a tag, right? And tag it in the same way. What I tagging here? IT department. And you can tag anything. Okay. Review and create. So this is how you create your roles in the US state region. Done. Now validation is passed. You can just click on the create and it will create the NSG rules. So Azure is very simple. If you know each and every, the particular things and you want to deploy those things. So I'm giving this a theoretical part and little bit on the practical side. Okay, so at least you must aware about the terms and terminology, right? So you can learn it in later videos. You will see we will do a lot of work over here. Okay, so this is how NSG rule has been deployed now. So if I click this NSG rules and see this, so we get a bunch of things, right? Overview, activities, access control. So which user you give access to. Here you're going to control the inbound security rules. Whatever you want to add some rules over here. You can give it this any source, a destination, custom. That's what I told in the which port even allow action is allowed, and then just click add it simply on the subnet level, network level, outbound security, what is going to outside, okay, deny, allow, this is how, lock also is, no one is going to delete, network level, subnet level also. Add this associated subnets, the subnet will have this particular rule you're going to associate with this. This is very simple, guys, all right? So now we'll talk about little bit on the next topic is Azure Virtual Private Network, right? So what do you understand from this? A virtual private network, VPN, uses an encrypted tunnel within the another network. So VPN gateway, this comes in the picture. A VPN gateway is a type of virtual network gateway. So where we use Azure virtual private network, connect on on-premises data centers to virtual network through site-to-site connections. Connect individual devices to virtual network through a point-to-site connection. Connect virtual network to other virtual network through a network-to-network connection, right? So this is all about the VPN gateway and Azure private network. VPN, as you know, is uses as an encrypted tunnel within another network. So VPN are typically deployed to connect two or more trusted private networks to one another over an untrusted network, typically the public internet. So traffic is encrypted while traveling over the untrusted network to prevent eavesdropping or other attacks. So VPN can enable network to safely and securely share sensitive information over the internet. So VPN, this is what it is, kind of tunnel security, right? So all data transfer is encrypted inside and private tunnel as it's cross the internet. You can deploy only a VPN gateway in each virtual network. However, you can use one gateway to connect to multiple locations, which includes other virtual network or on-premises data centers. So just remember these things, okay? So when setting up a VPN gateway, you must specify the type of VPN, right? So I'm not going to show you much, but yeah, I'm just moving here on the home page and just create VPN. PN. What are you looking here? So VPN have many forms: virtual network, gateway, and this is also the definition. You can say the ExpressRoute is also kind of VPN. Local network gateway is also the VPN part. Okay, so whenever I search here VPN, you can get the 7 services at least. Let's see. You see this? This is what I am talking about, right? So policy-based VPN gateways, especially statically the IP address of packet that should be encrypted through each tunnel. This type of devices evaluated every data packet against those sets to sets off IP addresses to those the tunnel where the packet is going to be sent through. Okay. So here's a in route-based gateways, IP security tunnels and modeled as a network interface or virtual tunnel interface. IP routing, either static routers and dynamic routing protocols, decides which one of these tunnel interfaces to use when sending each packet. Route-based VPN are the preferred connection method for an on-premises devices. They are most resilient to topology changes such as the creation of new subnets. So use a route-based VPN gateway if you need any of the following type of connectivity. So what I'm talking about, connection between virtual networks, you know, connection between virtual networks, point to site connection, multi-site connection, and coexisting with this Azure ExpressRoute. So this is what I'm discussing about here, right? So policy-based, so just we will go each and everything and we try to create those things and I will show you how to connect, right? So this is the high availability kind of scenario, right? So moving to the next type, let's see. Azure Virtual Private Networks. Azure Private Network VPN uses an encrypted tunnel within the another network, right? You got this point. So this point, the main bullet point. Okay, high availability scenarios. What is that? Active and standby. Active. ExpressRoute failover. John Redundant and gateway. So let's little bit talk about it. So what is active and standby? You don't understand. So active standby is by default, VPN gateways are deployed as two instances in an active and a standby configuration. Even if you only see one VPN gateway resource in Azure, when planned maintenance or unplanned disruption affect the active instances, the standby instance automatically assumes responsibility for connection without any user intervention. So connections are interrupted during this failover, but they are typically restored within a few seconds for planned maintenance and within 90 seconds for unplanned disruption. All right. Next was the active, right? So what is active? When the introduction of the support of the BGP routing, you can also deploy VPN gateways in an active configuration. Okay. So VPN gateway basically, create. So I'm not going to do more on this, but yeah, let's see what the option. I just want to show you the options. That's it. Okay. Select resource group and give me the advanced. What's it that? You see this configuration of BGP? Yes. Then it will ask what is the SAN BGP IP pair. So you have to review and curate. Okay. So this is all about an ExpressRoute failure. Once you not able to connect with your high availability scenarios, then VPN comes in the picture and it will help you to connect outage of any ExpressRoute circuit. You can also provision a VPN gateway that uses the internet as an alternative method of connectivity. Zone redundant gateways in regions that supports availability zones. So VPN gateways and ExpressRoute gateways can be deployed in a zone redundant configuration. The configuration bring resiliency, scalability, and higher availability to virtual network gateways. So deploying gateways in Azure availability zones physically and logically separated gateways within a region while protecting your on-premises network connectivity to Azure from zone level failures. So these gateways requires different gateway stocks, keeping units and use standard public IP address instead of basic public IP addresses. Okay. ExpressRoute. So Azure ExpressRoute lets you extend your on-premises network into the Microsoft cloud over a private connection with the help of connectivity provider or third-party provider, right? So what is that Azure Express route? So Express, if I type the circuit direct, many things is invented here now. What is Express route circuit? Okay, you see this? So this is the symbol of Express route circuit. Yeah. So you just learn this, point-to-point co-location, any to any VPN connection. So this is how it's going to work. So Talking about Express Route Circuit, Azure Express Route Circuit lets you extend your on-premises first, okay, network into your Microsoft Cloud over private connection with the help of connectivity provider. So this point is very important. The connection is called an Express Route Circuit. So what we can do with the Express Route, you can establish connection to Microsoft Cloud services such as Microsoft Azure or Microsoft 365. All right, so it's a PaaS solution. So this allows you to connect offices, data centers, or other facilities to the Microsoft Cloud. All right. Each location would have its own Express Route circuit. So connectivity can be from any to any IPVPN network, a point-to-point Ethernet network, or a virtual cross connection through a connectivity provider at a collocation facilities. Express route connection don't go over the public internet. Remember this point. This allows express route connection to offer more reliability, faster speeds, consistent latencies, and higher security than typical connections over the internet. Okay. So yeah, let's little bit discuss about the features and benefits of the express route. So connectivity to Microsoft Cloud service across all region in the geopolitical region. So geopolitical means multi kind of things. Okay, you can even connect your data center from anywhere, right? And you're going to utilize the connectivity to the Microsoft Cloud service, like whatever they mention here. Your compute services, your PaaS solutions, your databases, right, and Azure storage as well. Right. So this is what a global connectivity, dynamic routing and building redundancy. So let me discuss a little bit on this part, right? So feature and benefits of if you're discussing it, right, the connectivity to Microsoft Cloud service across all region in the geopolitical regions, connect global connectivity to Microsoft services across all region with the express route global reach, be your then your border gateway protocol in BGP, build redundancy, right? So connected to the Microsoft Cloud, we can use this kind of services. So then next comes in the picture, global connectivity, dynamic routing, and built-in redundancy. So what is global connectivity? So you can enable express route global reach to exchange data across your on-premises sites by connecting your express route circuits. So if I take example, if you are sitting in India and a data center in a data center in Europe, both with express route circuits connecting them to the Microsoft network. You either choose express route global reach to connect those two facilities, allowing them to communicate without transferring data over the public internet. Getting my point? So this is what kind of services provide. In dynamic routing, express route use the BGP. BGP is used to exchange route between on-premises network and resources running in Azure. This protocol enables dynamic routing between your on-premises network and services running in the Microsoft Cloud. And what is the built-in redundancy? Each connectivity provides users redundant devices to ensure that connection, established with Microsoft are highly available. That's the main thing, now, high availability all the time. Your SLA is very, very, very high. 5 nines, 6 nines kind of things. Okay. And it's also the configuration goes multiple circuits to complement this kind of features, right? So express route connectivity happy models as well. Express supports kind of 4 models generally, where you connect your on-premises network to the Microsoft Cloud. So I don't know if I mentioned this here or not. Yeah. So ExpressRoute connectivity models. So cloud exchange collation, point-to-point Ethernet connection, any-to-any connection, and directly from ExpressRoute sites to the cloud. So this you have to remember it, right? So collation refers to your data center, offices, facility, kind of things, your physical kind of things. Okay, and point-to-point means point-to-point Ethernet connection refers to using a point-to-point connection to connect your facility to the Microsoft employee, particular things on the cloud. Any to any network, any to any connectivity, you can integrate your wide area network WAN with Azure by providing connection to your offices and data centers. Azure integrates with your WAN connection to provide a connection like you would have between your data centers and any branch offices. So this is what it's all about. Directly from ExpressRoute, you can get directly into Microsoft Global Network at a peering location strategies, strategically distributed across the world. Okay, so this is what. And one more thing you have to remember, ExpressRoute Direct provides dual 100 Gbps or 10 Gbps connectivity, which supports active-active connectivity at scale. Activity means both the regional, your site, or you can say the particular availability zones, it's active mode always. This is not like one is going to down and one is going to be up. Not like that. So security considered. Okay, so your data does not travel over the public internet. This is the main focus on this. Okay, if you travel over the public internet, you got hacked. Very potential risk associated with the internet communication. So ExpressRoute is a particular private connection from your on-premise infrastructure to your Azure infrastructure, right? If you have an ExpressRoute connection, DNS queries, certificate revocation list checking, and Azure Connect delivery network requests are still sent over the public internet, right? Okay, so let's move to the next and little bit talk about Azure DNS side. So DNS, domain naming system, right? So this is very important, guys. So as you see here, benefits of Azure DNS, leverage the scope and scale Microsoft of Azure, provide numerous benefits included reliability and performance, security, ease of use, customizable virtual network, and alias record. Alias, you know, if you anybody taking a host or making a website and you want to host it, you need a DNS and kind of the alias record, which you're going to enter on a particular service provider, and accordingly, you're going to make it up your website, right? So DNS is a hosting service for DNS, and uh, let me see what is the DNS here. DNS shown, DNS for rules. Okay, private DNS. Clear DNS shows. Yeah. All right. So you can manage your DNS record using the name, same credentials, API tools, and billing as your other Azure services. So Azure role-based access control, Azure are back to, security point of view if I talk about. So give the access to a specific action for your organization. So activity logs to monitor how a user in your organization modified a resource or to find or error when troubleshooting, right? So these kind of points it has a basically skip. Ease of use, Azure DNS can manage DNS records for your Azure services and provide DNS for your external resources as well. Azure DNS is integrated in the Azure portal and use the same credential supports contract or billing as your other Azure services. So because Azure DNS is running on Azure, it means you can manage your domains and records with Azure portal. Azure PowerShell, CM also use, and the command line you can say. And the cross-platform Azure CLI also you can use. Application that requires automated DNS management can integrate it with the service by using the REST APIs and SDKs. So customizable virtual network with the private domains is there, right? And alias record is there. So this is what we have to think and we have to keep it in. So alias record, let me explain a little bit on the alias record, right? So you can use an alias record set to refer to an Azure resources such as an Azure num public IP address, an Azure traffic manager profile, or an Azure content delivery CDN endpoints. If the IP address of the underlying resources changes, the alias record set seamlessly updates itself during the DNS resolution. So the alias record set point to the service instances, and the service instance is associated with an IP address, right? Also, one important note, you can't use any Azure DNS to buy a domain name. Remember it. For annual fee, you can buy a domain name by using app services domains or third-party domain name registered, okay? Once purchased, your domain can be hosted in Azure DNS for record management. Okay, guys? So this is what it's all about. And yeah. So our next chapter and next video, we will be going to talk about the Azure storage services. So stay tuned, like, subscribe, and share this channel. Keep learning with me. I will make you master on the Azure services, at least on the IS side. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. We will see you in your next video.